Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Bat here. So, on Friday, one of my coworkers, when she was writing the date on the withdrawal slip at the bank that I work at, she couldn't believe that it's July 1st already. She said, "Oh my God, it's July 1st." We are already halfway through the year. Now, in some ways, I know how is that possible? How are we already halfway through 2022? But then in another way, I go, well, let me see. The last year ended with me dislocating my knee. Yeah, that happened. Then I spent the next month, over the first month of 2022, not doing anything. Yeah, could barely walk around. Then I had surgery in February 1st to be exact. And then I was out for 2 months recovering in rehab. So then it wasn't until April that I finally start to literally walk around normal again and get in my car and drive. The last time I drove was literally December 4th that morning. No, and then in May I started a new job, and I've been training ever since. So yeah, I can see where the year has gone so far. Laid up, surgery, recovery, starting a new job, training. Yeah, I can see where the year so far the year has gone. Not too exciting. If you want to add a surgery, if you consider surgery exciting, then we might become best friends. I don't know. Yeah, that's how I look at the world. Surgery. But we are now halfway through the year, and that comes back to, okay, now that we are halfway through the year, what movies have stood out the most so far this year? Now, I have seen movies in theaters. I didn't see anything in February because of surgery, but I did see something in January. I saw a couple in March. I saw more in April and May, and now in June. And I've also seen a lot on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, HBO Max, Peacock, Redbox. If I didn't see it in theaters, I tried to rent it, and it wasn't on any streaming service yet. So, I have seen a lot of movies so far this year, in one way or another. So on that note, let's look at, to me, the movies that have stood out the most so far. Now, this isn't a ranking that means all these movies are going to show up on my list at the end of the year. Maybe, I know a couple of them probably won't when it's all said and done, but for now, where we are now, these are the movies that I consider to be the standouts so far this year. And this is not in any order, like the best one to the least best one or whatever. This is what stood out. So let's start out with The Batman. The Matt Reeves directed, Robert Pattinson starring, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Paul Dano. I really like this movie. Now some people are like, oh, Matt, it's a Batman movie. Of course, Matt the Bat. Of course, it's a no-brainer. No, because I'm not a fan of The Dark Knight Rises. No, I'm not a fan of Batman Forever. I'm not a fan of Batman and Robin. So even though I'm a Batman fan, that doesn't mean I like every Batman movie that comes out. It's like Spider-Man movies. My second favorite is Spider-Man, but I don't like every Spider-Man movie that has come out. I'm actually one of those people that I enjoy Spider-Man No Way Home, but it's not this great movie that everyone says it is. That's just me. And like I said before this Batman movie, I've always wanted a Batman movie in the vein of Seven, David Fincher's Seven, and that's what I got in this movie. Plus you get the great cinematography, the great score, acting, like that we really get to see Batman be a detective in this movie more than any other Batman movie, except maybe The Dark Knight a little bit. And I think he got a great performance in him. And even with the almost 3 hour runtime, it worked for me. So that's just, I think, my opinion. Now, will the Batman show up at the end of the year on my list? We don't know yet. We'll see. But right now, it's pretty high on the list. Ray movie, Ambulance. Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, Isaac Gonzalez. This is a fun movie. If you turn your brain off for a few hours, it's a fun, energized, really is a car chase movie. These cops are chasing this ambulance 85% of the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal gives another great performance. I love when he can play that psychotic bad guy, but also have a lot of fun with it. We saw that in so many movies, like even Spider-Man Far From Home. But right now, this movie did, like, the girl in the movie, played by Isaac Gonzalez, has an arc throughout the movie. You don't see that in many Michael Bay movies. And I think, yeah, you still get the Michael Bay explosions and camera angles and the same looking cinematography with the sunsets and the orange and the yellows and all that. And the hot girl, and we gotta frame her in a certain way so we get all her great angles and, curves or whatever. That's Michael Bay. There's not a single Michael Bay movie that doesn't have all that. So, if you like Michael Bay, you like his stuff, you're gonna like Ambulance. And I did. Northman, the Robert Eggers movie with Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, William Dafoe, and Anya Taylor-Joy. Once again, another movie, great cinematography, great score, acting-wise, great. Just an interesting and weird movie in the same vein as the guy who did The Witch and The Lighthouse. But I also said in my review back in April, if you watch The Lion King and then you watch this movie, and basically beat for beat for beat for beat, just replace lions with humans, and you got The Lion King in human form. But still, it's still a very good movie. A very different movie from what we've seen so far this year. So I highly recommend it. Top Gun Maverick, the movie that has now made over $1.1 billion. Billion dollars. This is the first movie outside of Spider-Man No Way Home in almost 3 years that has made over $1 billion at the box office. In almost 4 years, which is not a big franchise tentpole like a Star Wars or a comic book movie of Marvel or DC that has made over $1 billion. So Tom Cruise made the right call. The studio back in 2021 to put it on streaming, and Tom Cruise was like, oh hell no. I didn't bust my butt to literally go out and learn how to fly these fighter jets just for you to put it on streaming. No. We're going to wait, and we're going to wait, and we're going to wait, and we're going to finally put it in theaters when it's the right time. Well, I guess we can learn now, don't ever bet against Tom Cruise. Because Tom Cruise, he just celebrated his 60th birthday yesterday. I can't believe that guy's already in his 60s. Not possible. Not possible. Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise being 60 years old. Not possible. The guy's a freak in the best way possible. The movie is great. It's enjoyable. It's fun. Great acting. Great action. The aerial dogfights. It's a crowd pleaser. That's for sure. And it's making money because everyone's going to see it. Children, teenagers, adults, old people. Back in my day, we had to use our feet for pedals. We had to use our feet for the brakes. You know that Flintstones movie? That really happened. Yeah. Yeah, we were really doing that back in my day. You know? Those Flintstones, those are based on real life. Um, so yeah, even the old people got something to watch. But yeah, overall, I think a great film. Miles Teller, Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm, even the moment of Val with Val Kilmer. I think a fun movie. Elvis, saw that last week. Great movie. You get Austin Butler as a career-defining performance. The music, of course, the rock and roll, the way it's shot by Baz Luhrmann, the editing, the flashiness, the style. Even at almost 3 hours, I thought it worked. I even enjoyed Tom Hanks in the movie. I thought he did a good job. And the last but not least is The Black Phone, is the new Scott Derrickson movie with Ethan Hawke. Is more of a thriller than a horror. Very well paced, very great acting by the two young actors in the movie that play brother and sister. Ethan Hawke does a fine job. The atmosphere alone in this movie is great. You get that set in Denver in 1978, the same year that the first Halloween movie came out. And like I said, if you didn't know this came out this year, you would have thought it came out in 1978. It just has that feel to it. Filmmaking style. Like I said, very good movie so far for horror movies so far this year. I know we got a few more coming out. One of them I'm looking forward to in September, a new Stephen King movie based on a Stephen King book. A remake, actually. So yeah, a lot of it influence in this movie, and I'm going to get into that in the review. So if you haven't checked out the review for this, I would highly recommend for The Black Phone. I go into more detail and the whole how the Stephen King novel, is influenced by this movie a lot. A lot. Overall, and these are my picks so far this year. That's it for now for what I consider the best movie so far this year. And then these are just my picks. They might not even end up on my end of the year list. Maybe one of them will, maybe two of them. But for now, that's my picks. Let me know, what are your favorite movies so far this year? Did I name any of them, or are there ones that you're like, hey Matt, you forgot about this one? Well, maybe I didn't see it yet, or maybe it just didn't work for me. So you never know. Anyway, Matt the Matt here.